Hey, welcome to Flashback Monday, where we talk about all the books in this magazine. Welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina K-O-S-T-I-N-A. This is where I read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy smancy stuff going on here. And real quick, thank you to Leaf, Stanata, Trudy Hancock, Selena, and Z Book Nook. And if you drop by regularly and I end up spotting your name, I'll give you a mention too. So, my co-host is here on the floor. She's ignoring me. We are going to get to it. This is May 2014. And if I don't spill this table, please don't spill. All right. And of course, like always, I am not organized again. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. 298 books in here. Woohoo! We always start with Regency. We always end with Harlequin. Actually, it's paranormal, urban fantasy, Harlequin, and erotica. And it always starts with Regency, but the in-betweens, whichever one they're featuring that particular month, gets the longer version. But, so we'll start with, just picked out that one. Regency, Barbara Taylor Bradford, Valerie Bowman. We should do some naked guy on the covers. That should be an if then. I've got some really good if thens coming up. Some really good ones. Some interesting ones. So have you seen go back and watch my first Regencies, the Sinsters, the Bridgertons versus the Mallorys, and I'm doing a Sinster read on Saturdays now. And the African American authors was good. The Native American Indian authors was good. Anne Hillerman, that bunch. There's a lawyer one, there's a homicide one, there's a Scotland Yard one, there's a Men in Kilts one, there's a vampire one, there's witches, there's cozy cooking, cozy knitting, all of my if then. So go check all those out. And don't forget, Flashback Monday. We started with 2017. We are working our way up to 2016. And then we're going to try something new. We'll see. So, let's see. Shit, what did I do with that? Leave it to me to put these books not in any sort of order. All right. I know I picked it up. What did I do with it? I literally had it in my hand. Chrissy, you're batting 1,000 here. See, there's no special editing here. So, Jordan Nicole, one of my authors. Secrets of Seduction. Naked guy on the cover. Where did I have that? Wait a second. Naked guy on the cover. I did. So, anyways. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Naked guy on the cover. Nicole Jordan. Watch it. She said the name of the book was Naked God. Secrets of Seduction. Oh, and by the way, all the books here have, most of them have 4.5 stars. We always start out with the 4.5 stars, and every once in a while we'll do a 3. But most of the time it's 4.5 stars. Secrets of Seduction, Nicole Jordan. Jordan delivers a powerful, moving romance with intense emotion, sexual tension, and a few recurring characters. She pairs a man in a scarred in a body and soul with a captivating woman determined to show how love can overcome guilt and a wounded heart. And my co-host is on the floor. Ah, and another one of my authors, Victoria Alexander. The Scandalous Adventures of Sisters of the Bride. 4.5 stars. Alexander entertains and delights readers with endearing characters and engaging love stories. The latest offering is delightful, pure romance, the kind of story that makes you believe in the joy of love as you smile and sigh at the end. Lady Delia Hargate is a virtuous widow ready to attend her sister's wedding. She once allowed herself a little adventure with American Samuel Russell, and what a night that was. When Sam arrives to attend his friend's wedding, it seems prudent he and Delilah act as if they were strangers. That becomes increasingly difficult when they are constantly thrown together at pre-wedding functions. Then Sam discovers Delilah is hunting for a husband. Can he show her that she needn't look no further than him? Yay! um, though I didn't get that one. I'm almost positive I didn't get that one. I didn't see that one come through. So I don't think we'll have that one. I'm positive it's not here. Uh, yeah, but we'll do it anyway. It's probably waiting for me. I didn't get it. Um, Another one of my authors, I have quite a few of hers. Most of hers are Scotland or uh something like that. Oh, this is Scotland. The Witch of Clan St. Clair. Let me just look and see if there's a picture in here. I don't think I saw one, but we shall just take a quick look and see if there is one in here. There's a couple of nope, nope, nope. Let's see. No. Yes, there it is. Lady in Red, a witch. Let's say the Witch Clan Sinclair, the Lady in Red. 4.5 stars. With powerful characters and depth of emotion, Rainey's latest Sinclair romance hits the mark. Readers won't fail to emphasize with the strong-willed feminist heroine and desire the kilt-clad alpha hero, of course, always in kilt. Lady Delilah Hargate is a virtuous widow ready to attend her sister's wedding. She's once allowed herself a little adventure. Oh, we just read that. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm reading the wrong one. The Witch of St. Clan Sinclair, 4.5 stars. With powerful characters and depth of emotion, Rainey's latest Sinclair romance hit the mark. Readers won't. Oh, I read that too, didn't I? All right, here we go. Um, Newspaper editor Mary Sinclair is determined to make it in a man's world. Uh, Regency, Scotland. Newspaper? Regency, Scotland. Newspaper. Nope, 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 nope. Uh-uh. No, uh-uh. Mm-mm. What year is this? It doesn't say. It's Victorian Scotland. It doesn't make sense. Right. Newspaper editor Mary Sinclair is determined to make it on a man's word. When she's turned away from a lecture because of her gender, Mary is furious. Logan Harrison, Lord Provost of Edinburgh, is intrigued by the fiery young woman. She certainly doesn't have the makings of an ideal politician's wife, but her spirit calls to him. When he rescues her from men attacking her for speaking out on women's rights, she's unable to resist the temptation. I'm not sold. I like Karen Rainey stuff. I like her Scotland stuff, but this just doesn't float for me. Honest opinions here. Another one of my authors. How to Lose a Duke in 10 Days. The Lady in Blue. Smokey, where'd you go? Smoke. How to Lose a Duke in 10 Days. There's another one over there with that similar title. Lori Gerke, 4.5 stars. The plot may not be new, but this marriage of convenience love story has all the hallmarks of a delightful read. Desperate to save her reputation, American heiress Eddie proposes a marriage of convenience to the Duke Margrave. As a duchess, she is untouchable. With Eddie's money, Stuart is able to repay his family debts and go on a safari. Everything is ideal for 5 years until a mauling lion forces Stuart to re-examine his life. He wants a family and an heir. To salvage his marriage, Stuart makes a proposal. He has 10 days to woo Eddie into kissing him in his bed. Yes, we want the bed. Yes, we do. Caroline Linden, It Takes a Scandal. The Lady in Green. Naked guy on the cover. uh 4 stars, 1822 England. Whispers, rumors, and scandal make for delicious tale when mixed with murder, treasure, and passion. Linden enchants readers with her engaging characters, especially the bold heroine who lights up the page. Sebastian Vane returns from war to find his father has lost his mind. When his father disappears, rumors of murder and theft swirl around Sebastian, who stays in the country until it becomes evident he needs a wife with money to save his estate. Abigail Weston is pursued by many men who desire her fortune more than they want her. Sebastian interests Abigail. She sees past his wounds, the scandal, and his fears. She makes him whole again. She makes him whole. We want a man to be whole. Did I put that in here? Yeah. Meet the Earl at Midnight. And I just saw this. Meet the Earl at midnight. Shall we meet him? So it's going to be a scandalous. Let's see. 4 stars. Naked guy on the cover. Georgiana in England. Midnight meetings carry a naughty and dramatic connotation. The Congo captures as she weaves a spell with a delightful twist on Beauty and the Beast. Her fresh, vibrant voice shines through in sharp and smart repartee in a story where the simmering sexual tension builds to the perfect climax. Lydia Montgomery is stunned when she discovers she is betrothed to the reclusive Edward, aka the Phantom of London, the Enigma Earl, and the Greenwich recluse, but her marriage will rescue her family from financial ruin. So Lydia sets out to understand her betrothed and discover a man of great passion. Ooh. My Lady, who we are reading on. I just saw this. I literally just saw it. I literally just had it in my hand. What you call it? That we are reading this Sinsters. We are reading the Sinsters on Saturdays. Starting after the second week in June, that middle Friday, we started with Devil, and we're gonna work our way through the Sinsters. Then we're going to do the Bastion Club, and then we are going to do the Black Cobra, and then we are going to do the Buccaneers. They're just awesome series. And this is a side series. This is a spin-off series. There's quite a few of the Barnaby case books. Some of them are thin, large paperbacks with Mrs. Obelstone. Mrs. Obelstone is a very wealthy, very influential woman in the ton. She appears in quite a few of the regular Sinster books. And Barnaby is your Bow Street, sort of kind of Bow Street runner, sort of kind of. He's wealthy. He loves to investigate cases, and he gets started early on in the Sinster books, and this is a spin-off of it. So Masterful Mr. Montague, 4 stars. If Amanda Quick style historical mysteries are your guilty pleasure, then this latest Barnaby Adair adventure filled with murder, secrets, and red herrings and danger will be your cup of tea. Readers will not find the high degree of sexual tension and depth of characterization in most Lawrence novels. Juggling 3 couples is a challenge and added to a mystery even more. The intrigue aspect of this novel is that the lead characters are all members of the rising gentry, and Lauren does a fine job of showing the changes in society during that era. When her employer, Lady Halstead, discovers irregularities in her accounts, Violet Matcham seeks the city's most respected man of business, Montague, to solve the fiscal puzzle. Lady Halstead's case intrigues him as much as the lovely Violet. Montague is just the gallant knight Violet needs when Lady Halstead is murdered, and more deaths follow. So we'll see what happens there. Smokey, where'd you go? Smoke! I don't know where that child left, but she just left. Okay, that is the end of the Regencies. We are moving on to mainstream fiction. Let's see here. See those. Nope. No. What's though? There's no special editing here. Darn it. Don't know. Well, I don't know where it is. I know I looked for it. But anyways, we are in mainstream fiction. And cutting teeth. I'm not exactly sure what cutting teeth has to do with Raggedy Ann and Andy. Uh, shall we look into this here? 4.5 stars. Fiara's powerful debut nails the complexities of being a parent in the 21st century. Filled with a huge cast of moms and a dad, this novel brilliantly captures the highs and lows that come along with having children. Okay. When a group of parents from a Brooklyn mommy group get together for a weekend away with their significant others and their children, things go sideways. Each parent has issues, anxiety, money problems, the desire for more children with a partner who doesn't want more. The group of imperfect ties desperately to hold on to their identities and their minds while to please their spouses and their children. Okay. The one and only, which I did not get. So we'll just do it without a picture, Emily Griffin, 4 stars. Griffin has done it again. Readers won't be able to put down her latest novel. It has been read from cover to cover, perfectly balancing realistic and relatable emotion with deeply moving storybook romance. This tale gets to the heart of love, loss, and what truly drives us in life. Born and raised in a football obsessed Texas town, Shea Rigsby wants nothing more than to continue her life as she's always known it. When the loss of Connie Carr, wife of Coach Carr, the legendary Walker head coach and mother of Shay's best friend Lucy, rocks the town. Shay's world is upended. She learns that following your heart is never something to regret, and true happiness can always be found within friendships, family, and love. And our final Heart of Gold, Beverly Jenkins. Her books are always good. 4.5 stars. As Jenkins' Blessing series continues, the town of Henry Adams, Kansas has grown and kids are mostly settled in the stability they cherish. This novel fleshes out the adoptee's background and introduces new storylines for future installments. Ronnie, Reggie, and Zoe Garland are in crisis mode, and Ronnie is at loss. For a resolution, Zoe packs up all of the tension and believes that she is the cause. She also learns that a town resident who has lived in seclusion to protect a supposed stash of gold. Zoe takes it upon herself to leave food for him, and as a result, when he dies, the hermit leaves the gold to Zoe. Interesting. And let's move on to teen. Let's see here. Free to Fall, Lauren Miller. Right there. 4.5 stars. This incredible read has an amazing romance and mystery. The society's dependence upon technology is enthralling and terrifying realistic. Though Rory is slow to awaken to the realities of her carefully designed world, readers will quick to fall in love with her, and a fast-paced plot, an addictive and technology-driven world, and fantastic characters make this the best read of 2014 so far. When Rory Vaughn is accepted to Thetan Academy, she gains much more than most prestigious pre-college education available. Being a Thetan alum means a guaranteed enrollment in top university, an exclusive connection, and an elite job. If you can graduate, that is, but it is not the schoolwork that has her questioning whether she can stay the course, but the slow realization that something beneath the surface of Thetan is terribly wrong. It takes a boy from town to awaken Rory to the idea that technology everyone uses, a technology that can tell you what choice in every decision will make you happy, might have much, much more underneath it with consequences. After the end, 4 stars. Plum is an amazing author. Her books are so diverse, each one better than the last. Juno grew up in a post-apocalyptic world. She has only been to her home limits and she doesn't dare venture further. When her family and friends are taken from her, she must venture into the unknown to rescue them. Then she finds out the truth that everything she's known about was a complete lie. Miles is a typically spoiled rich kid until he gets expelled. Now on a house arrest with nothing to do, he finally achieved the impossible. Get the attention and approval of his father. Don't know. Killer Instinct. S.E. Green. Green's debut may be too graphic for some, but fans of Criminal Minds and Dexter will find this right up their alley. Lane has always been fascinated with serial killers. Maybe it's because her mom and stepdad worked for the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit. Perhaps it's genetic after all. Her dad died before she was born, so she has no way of knowing what he was like. Of course, she could be just creepy. All she knows is that something about murder calls to her. Eager to scratch her own itch and find her own identity, she takes up vigilantism and loves the thrill of the. Uh, all right. Inspirational. Serena Miller. Let's see. Fearless Hope. If you have not seen my Amish If Then, go check out my Amish If Then. 4.5 stars. While obedient to the Amish faith, her heroine is truly brilliant as she questions some of the rules that keeping her from fulfilling her dreams. The hero is charmingly clueless about Amish culture and sadly unaware of God's personal interest in him. Logan Parker's life is consumed by the pressure of his writing career and his ambitions whirlwind of fiancee Marla. When his drinking gets out of control, he goes to Holmes County, Ohio, on a short trip that leads to months of immersing himself in the Amish community. He employs recent widow Hope Yoder to keep house, but his encourages gossip about the nature of their relationship. Logan senses that deja vu eventually leads to the revelation of an explosive secret that shatters his sense of who he is. Okay. Um, Myra Johnson, Whisper Goodbye. 4.5 stars. The second outing Until We Meet Again series picks up Gilbert trying to move beyond his war injuries and hash out his feelings for Mary. Strong characterization and emotions and longing between the two main characters give the story a realistic, tangible feel. Gilbert Ballard is trying to adjust to his life after returning home from the war and to what he perceives he has become a crippled man. He's made peace with the fact that his relationship with Anne Marie is over and he finds himself longing for Irish immigrant nurse Mary McClarney. But Mary is part of the working class and Gilbert's mother would surely disapprove of someone so outside this societal circle. Sounds a little like Hannah's The Women a little, just a little. It just reminds me of it just a little. The Heart's Pursuit. Robin Lee Hatcher. Hatcher's latest novel will move the heart, set in the Old West with a jilted bride and a toughened bounty hunter at the center. The story addresses trust and forgiveness. The clear, crisp prose shines through with the author's beautiful description and poignant narrative. On her wedding day, Silver Matlock is left at the altar by a man who stole her family's fortune. Jared Newman is the hardened bounty hunter Silver hires to help her find this man and get justice. Jared shares his sense of justice as he has his own personal retribution to exact. In the midst of their treacherous quest, they are unexpectedly drawn to each other. Do we get romance too? Romance! We want some romance with that. Um, The Kissing Bridge. Isn't that the computer? The lighting is horrible. I wish I knew how to fix it. I've gone in and looked at all the different stuff. Um, but I've never been able to fix the lighting. The Kissing Bridge, Trisha Goyer. The 4 stars. The latest installment in the Seven Brides for Seven Bachelor series has who are determined to fulfill their dreams. Geyer has written a heartwarming story that is much more than a romance. It's a story about getting past one's suffering. There was I used to have them and I'm sorry I gave them up. There's quite a few books that I gave up that I now regret giving up something horrible. But Jane Feather, she had 7 Brides books. They were good too. I shouldn't have given them up. Ever since her sister died, Rebecca Troyer has planned to make her way out of the Amish community. She feels guilty for going behind her parents' backs, but their strict rules prevent her from telling them her goal: to graduate from nursing school and to return so that the Amish have someone to go to for medical help. On the way to college, she stops in West Cartone, Montana, where a member of the Amish live with more freedom, including Caleb Hooley. Though Amish, Caleb has a daredevil streak. When he meets Rebecca, he believes he has found his soulmate. So is she gonna leave for college or she's gonna stay and hang out with him? Um, Lisa Harris, The Fatal Exchange. How is this? Romantic suspense. How is romantic suspense inspirational? I'll have to figure that one out. Would you think of this as an inspirational book? Mm. Oh. Lisa Harris, 4 stars. The second book of Harris' Southern Crime series is a thrill ride from start to finish, full of twists and turns. This exciting story will keep readers enthralled, flawed characters and all. The romance is believable and it fits well with the plot. Undercover police officer Mason Tyler has been working with student Raphael to help keep the boy on the right track and out of trouble. He's doing well in school and has goals for the future. Emily Hunt is one of Raphael's teachers, and although she comes along for the line of cops, she doesn't want to date one. When Raphael's brother goes missing, Mason agrees to help find him. But before he can get started, Raphael takes Emily's classroom hostage. What the F? Don't know. A Woman of Courage. This author has been around for a while. Her books are very, 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 very popular. Wanda E. Broomstetter. 4 stars. Amanda and Mary, a strong, courageous woman who preserved through the hardships of 1800s America, well researched and realistic to the time. Broomstetter's story educates readers on various tribes and their practices and beliefs and focuses on the power of forgiveness. Now, see, this looks like an inspirational book versus that other one. After a broken engagement, Quaker Amanda Pearson decides to leave New York and head west with her father and guide. Their 3,000-mile journey will end at Spalding Mission, where they plan to preach God's words to Nez Perce tribe. This is a dangerous trip, and Amanda finds herself fighting for her life at the home of a trapper and Native American wife. They are skeptical of her Christian faith, but they begin to consider her message when they witness some of the mysteries that can only occur through God. Okay. That sounds like an inspirational. Charlotte Hubbard, Breath of Spring. Where's the 4 stars? A great addition to the wonderful seasons of Heart Romance series. The well-defined characters have integrity. They want to do the right thing for the right reasons. Anne-Marie Knepp feels like she's carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders because of the actions of her now disgraced ex-bishop father. She brings her 5 siblings back home because they were not being cared for properly by her father's latest girlfriend, and they adjust to life in Willow Ridge. Adam Wagler has been and always will be there for Annie Mae. He just can't get her to realize that she is worth helping. Adam wants more than friendship. See what happens there. And that is the end of inspirational. And we now move on to sci-fi. I don't think we have any of these books here. I do not think I was able to get them. Let's see. I do not think so. Alright. I have one. I have one of Paul Cornell. 4.5 stars. Using a politically charged London as a backdrop, Cornell puts a clever, subversive twist on a Jack the Ripper-esque murder case. This supernatural serial killer doesn't target vulnerable women. He's strictly into killing powerful white men, bringing back the fascinating cast of London's falling detective. Quill, Sefton, and Costin, intelligent analyst Ross. The Severed Streets is part thrilling as hell spooky story and part mediation as guilt, loss, and trust. James Quill and his investigative squad are getting a handle on the site, the ability to see the otherworldly creatures that populate London. Their latest case concerns an impossible killer who seems able to walk through locked car doors and into homes to disembowel his prey. White men is relative positions of power. The team searches for a link with a little help from their mysterious superior. Rebecca Lofthouse, meanwhile, investigators Costin and Ross build on an uneasy trust as they both pursue similar agendas. Ross will do anything to spring her dead father from hell, and Costin will do anything to make sure he doesn't end up there himself. Okay. Um, I do not see. Do not see that one. Um, at all. So it'll probably show up on Saturday. I get these books and I'm like, what's this for? And then it's for the flashback Monday before the flash. And they always, all right, let's just do this one. My Real Children, Joe Walton, 4.5 stars. It would be hard enough just to write the story of the scope of a person's life as movingly and vividly as Walton does here. So while she does so twice over, while subtly building two alternative histories of the world since 1950, it's shockingly impressive. It's 2015 and Patricia Cohen has led a long, eventful life, even if her memory fails her more often than not now. But sometimes the life included an early marriage and 4 children. Sometimes instead it involved Summers in Florence and 3 children. Sometimes Kennedy resigned after nuclear bombs dropped at Kev in Miami. Sometimes he was assassinated with a bomb. Each life had its share of triumphs and devastations. How could anyone choose which one was the real one? Don't know. Um, Valor and Vanity, Mary Kowal, 2.5 stars. When it comes to writing historical fantasy that is once absorbing, exciting, and incredibly moving, Kowal's in a class by herself. Just as Kowal's previous book, Without a Summer, blended elements of fantasy with a very real depiction of class struggle. Married glamorous Jane and Vincent set sail for Italian part of Morel to study with glass blowers and perfect their own glamour and glass techniques before meeting up with rakish poet Lord Byron. But before their trip can even begin, their ship is assailed by Barbary corsairs. The small band of travelers is forced to pay heavy ransom to secure freedom. Now penniless in a strange city with Lord Byron's distracted by romantic intrigue, Jane and Vincent are sans resources. A kind gentleman from their ship offers to help them in Murano, welcomes them to his estate, and even finds a glass blower to aid them. But no sooner do Jane and Vincent begin their work than they discover their benefactor is a fraud and a thief. Oops. What are you gonna do there? Ha! Mystery. Love me some mystery. Right here. The spooky, scary stuff. The spooky, scary stuff. This thing is heavy. Look at this. Look at that. Look how big this is. This thing is heavy. 4.5 stars. Once again, master thriller writer Diva delivers a heart-pounding read as Lincoln Rhyme matches with another diabolical killer. Brilliant forensic criminologist Lincoln Rhyme, along with his protege Emanuel Sachs and their investigative team, is trying to stop a serial killer who is leaving bodies in underground locations. The killer is tattooing messages on his victims' abdomens with a tattoo gun loaded with poison. The victims appear to be random, and the killer is leaving little, if any, evidence. Putting clues together and relying on instincts, Rhyme is able to identify a location and save one victim. As more pieces start to fall into place, Rhyme believes that the tattoo killings may be cover for something more sinister hatched by the watchmaker. I may or may not by the end of the year be doing this series as part of a series. I haven't decided yet, but I'm looking into it. But Jesus, I don't know if I can handle something this big. We'll have to see. Except if it's Outlander. That's a whole different story. uh all right. I was devastated, absolutely devastated when I learned this information. I've mentioned it previously, but I was having a really, really, really good time with these books. And I was hoping they would go on forever. I even bought the entire set. I bought them all. I was having a fantastic time. These were awesome books. They could be the Gilded Age or it's the era between 1880, 1890, and 1910 New York. Like the Molly Murphy, the Bryce Bowen series. There's a couple of different series that take place. The Newport series, Alyssa Maxwell, also during this time period. I've got a few more. The Andrea Penner, but that's over in England though. During this time period. Um, but we have the New York. There's quite a few of the New York ones. I've done them. So check out my video for the Gilded Age. I did Historical Age. I did Gilded Age. I did Victorian Age. I did a whole bunch of if-thens in a row. But I have talked about these books till I'm blue in the face, and I love these books. I even did a Mrs. Ellsworth tribute video. I went through all the books and read Mrs. Ellsworth, my favorite quotes from Mrs. Ellsworth. I enjoyed the heck out of Mrs. Ellsworth, and I was looking forward to the next book. And I was Googling, researching Goodreads and Amazon and all these different sites. When's the next book coming out? When's the next book coming out? I'm waiting for the next book. When's it coming out? It should be coming out soon. Only to discover that Miss Thompson has passed away. The same thing happened with Ursula Blanchard, the Finola Buckley. Her real name is something else. But I was absolutely devastated to learn that Victoria Thompson has passed away and that we'll never see Frank Malloy and Sarah Brandt and Catherine and the girls and the parents. If you have not read this series, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. And go through all my videos with me and read them with me. And my pleasure, my sign languaging, my Mrs. Ellsworth, her quotes, I read them, I share them, go through all of those videos. These are the absolute best. Like I said, I went and bought the whole series, and I was looking forward to the next book. What was going to happen with Sarah Brandt, Frank Malloy, what murder cases, what his mom was going to do, what Mrs. Ellsworth was going to do, the whole 9 yards. And I was just absolutely devastated to learn that she has passed away. And she was we just did it with who did we just do the other day? C.S. Harris. And at the end of her book, she told a little off the narrative of some history stuff. Victoria Thompson does that too. At the end of the book, she tells you what was going on, which she based some of her stuff on in the book. And this is just an awesome series. If you haven't seen it, check it out. So it's 4.5 stars. We got Sarah Brandt is a midwife in the beginning. It starts off with her as a midwife. And Frank Malloy is a detective with the New York City Police Department. And this is back when bribes, if you gave a cop enough money, he'd look the other way, and that was the end of it. And this is the beginning of Franklin Roosevelt, or Teddy Roosevelt, and all the stuff that was going on in New York and the woman's right to vote. And she also has the Counterfeit series, which is another book that only has like 6 or 7 books in it, and that's you'll never see anything else from there either. So both these series were just awesome. But it starts out with her as a midwife, and someone dies, and she contacts the police, and she ends up helping them out, and they grow closer and closer and closer and closer as the book comes. And she was estranged from her parents, and they were part of the New York 400, the Knickerbockers, really really wealthy people, and slowly they repair their relationship with the parents, and it's just the most awesome series. I just loved it to death. I couldn't wait till each and every book, and it just broke my heart that she has passed away. Set in the 19th century New York City, among the tenements, this installment in the Gaslight Mystery series gives a fascinating look at the underbelly of the city with the excellent social history and the sensitization characters. A young woman is missing, and her father comes to Detective Sergeant Frank Malloy for help. The case takes little precedence over the city's harsher crimes, but when Frank discovers the woman was answering the Lonely Hearts ad in the newspaper, he is determined to find her. Frank soon finds out that many other women who answer the ads are also missing. With Sarah Brandt's help, they search for the woman, trying to solve their personal difficulties. Frank has inherited a large sum of money, a fact that could drive him out of the police work. I shouldn't have read that part, because that's kind of a spoiler for the rest of the series of what happens. But I just love these. I can't talk about them enough. Go watch all my videos on these, all of them. And it ends with Mrs. Ellsworth. I was so looking forward to the rest of this. I was so disappointed that she has passed away. Jesus. On the other side of town, another really good author, Heather Blake, The Goodbye Witch, 4.5 stars. Blake has written another winner. Her narrative and character growth keep getting better with each book. The plot is entertaining and fast-moving. The usual gang is back to solve an intriguing crime. And we've done a couple of these also for my channel, so you have to go check those out. Local witch Darcy Merriweather's closest friend, Starla Sullivan, survived a horrific attack by her husband. 2 years ago, no one has seen or heard from Kyle since he escaped from the jail cell. Now his body is turned up in Starla's apartment. Under the assumption that Starla must be innocent, Darcy and the rest of her magical gang join forces to find the real killer. Will they solve the crime before Stella is arrested? Starla, sorry. Yeah. Oh, I just picked this up. A Potion to Die For. I just picked that up. I'll have to check that out. All right. Another book that was ordered and lost. So, all right. Live to See Tomorrow. Reminds me of James Bond title, doesn't it? 4.5 stars. Enigmatic CIA operative Catherine Ling returns to center stage in a terrific new thriller with a decidedly paranormal bent. Catherine's life has radically changed now that her son has been freed from kidnappers, but their relationship remains tentative, evolving. In addition to being a thriller master, Johansson excels at exceeding in paranormal elements that kick her stories into new gear. Catherine is looking forward to spending time with her 11-year-old son Luke and her longtime friend Hugh Chang when the director of CIA calls about a rescue mission in Tibet. American journalist Erin Sullivan has been kidnapped by Kadamus, a monster whose iron rule dates back 40 years. Catherine doesn't want to take the job, but Hugh feels obligated to rescue Erin due to her connection to an old friend. Catherine accepts the mission and meets Richard Cameron, a man many are willing to die for, and like Camus are hunting for. What is he hiding? See what happens there. Oh, I looked for this. Where'd it go? We may do these. It's a short series. It's only one, two. I don't even know if that's part of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books, maybe. Well, maybe we'll do it. It's a, it's a little. It's Stephanie Plum slightly better at a job than Stephanie Plum, and it's a couple thing. It hasn't. Janet's just left it in the wind. She hasn't done anything with it in years. The Chase. If you have not watched all of my Janet Ivanovich, Stephanie Plum, 1 for the money, 2 for the dough, 3 to get deadly, 4 score, high five, hot 6, 7 up, hard 8 to the nines. Check all those videos out. I did those and JD Robb Eve Dallas at the same time. Those are my 2 comfort series. And it's kind of just sad that I can't read those again when I need comfort because of the videos. I want to be able to do books for the video and I don't want to do the same book over and over again because I've already done them. So go check all those out. There's 30, 31. 31 is coming out soon, or yeah, we just did 30. And 61 or 2 is coming out for JD Robb in September. So we'll be doing those. We just did one the other day back in February, so check that out. So this is 4.5 stars. This is The Chase. Janet Ivanovich and Lee Goldberg. The odd couple of covert law enforcement is back as master con artist Nick Fox and FBI agent Kate O'Hare joins forces. The quips are flying as the fists and bullets. The wildly and wacky rom crisis crosses the world as Fox and O'Hare hunt for stolen art while matching with unbelievable criminals. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come over here. Come here. Stop crying at me. Come over here. Come here. Come here. Smoke. Come here. Come here. Come here. Well, fine, don't come here. Uh, these are good. These are so good. There's 6 of them. The Heist, The Chase. My distance viewing is bad, but they're over there. Another series that I'm considering doing. I've picked it up. I can't tell you how many times and put it back how many times, but I'm gonna pick it up again. Carolyn Hart, Death at the Door. 4.5 stars. This long-running series continues to produce strong storylines and wonderful characterization. Crime-solving duo Annie and Max Darling complement each other's investigative skills. While Max is a low-key, Annie is all about action, which often lands her in dangerous situations. In October in Broward Rock, South Carolina, Annie Darling is running her mystery bookstore, Death on Demand. When a local doctor is found dead in a study, the town is shocked. The police rule the death as a suicide. However, the doctor's sister isn't convinced. Several days later, a locally wealthy woman is found bludgeoned to death by a sculpting mallet. Her artist husband is soon arrested when the doctor's sister finds a sketch of foreshadowing the woman's death in the doctor's desk drawer. She asks Annie and Max for help in solving both crimes with an array of suspects. Can they do it? See what happens. Are you back? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. How's it going, young lady? Hang out with me for a couple minutes. Okay? Um, there's another really uh thick book. Ah, good God. Massively thick. Ah, here she is. Smoke. There we go. How's that? Is that better? The critic. The critic. All right, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hold this one. We'll have to see. Huh? How did this? Natchez burning. 4.5 stars. After a 5-year absence from the literary world, Isles returns with impressive novel packed with tension and suspense. Set in Naz, Mississippi, and surrounding environments, the epic tale draws on atmosphere from the South, though some of them it most troublesome times. Readers might get a sense throughout the narrative that it tries to do too much, but it's worth the read. Mayor Penn Cage has his back against the wall. His father, upstanding Dr. Tom Cage, is accused of murdering Viola Turner, the nurse who was in his practice during the 1960s. He won't defend himself, but did he do it? The case involves the misdeeds of the Double Eagles at various splinter group of Ku Klux Klan that will stop at nothing at protecting their secrets. Veteran reporter Henry Sexton has an inside track on the heinous crimes perpetrated by the Eagles, with which he intends to expose their crooked ranks and give the information to 10, but will it be in time to save them? See what happens there. Yes, ma'am. Yes. We'll go up to bed soon. All right. I might read this one. It might show up on the channel. I'm thinking of reading this one because if you have not seen, and I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna bring it up again. In another, there's an if then coming up, in July, that this author will appear in that podcast, in that if then. I really enjoying the heck out of Cotton Malone. I am enjoying these books, and if you have not seen my video on the Patriot that it's over here in the corner. I'm on the floor in the corner with my pals. But please go check that out. It's an awesome book. If you have not read The Patriot, that watch my video, read the book, and know that the French guy is a documented patriot, DAR, daughter of the American Revolution patriot. So it did happen. So that's it's just awesome. And I may read this because I haven't read this yet. And I haven't. I like to read stuff in order, so I was going forwards. So this might be a backward step for me in book reading, but I'm really seriously considering reading it because these are just Steve Berry is just an awesome writer, and I'm just enjoying the heck out of these books. The Lincoln Myth, 4 stars. The story that Berry weaves into this plot make the latest Cotton Malone novel really shine. Fast-paced action and intriguing characters add up to a fascinating, suspenseful story. Cotton Malone is brought out of retirement again. Every single book he's brought out of retirement. Um, when his former boss asks for help in a field operation. An undercover agent is in grave danger after his true identity is revealed. A series of long kept secrets involving Brigham, the founding fathers, and Abraham Lincoln, and the actions of several powerful, hungry present day politicians and Mormon elders threaten the security of the United States. Cotton's boss feels the Constitution itself must be undermined. Yeah, well, you should try this today. I'll just leave it at that. But I love Steve Barry. Those are awesome books. Um uh and that is the end of mystery. Uh Now on to a brief pause into romantic suspense. Um let's see here. The Broken. Shelley Carrill. 4.5 stars. Carrill's latest grips the reader from the first page. An engaging, intriguing plot is the heart of this thriller. A diabolical villain, Carrill's distinctive voice results in a story full of suspense, thick tension, and vulnerable characters. Profiler Hayden Reed is completely immersed in the broadcast butcher case. His mission is to catch the devious criminal before he kills again. But when he gets the location of the butcher's first and only surviving victim, Kate Johnson, she becomes the link to the butcher he doesn't want to let go of. Strong and scrappy Kate just wants to run, having hidden herself away for nearly 2 years. But as the butcher threatens to kill again, Kate must trust Hayden to help her and help her survive. And Pure Heat. Ah, should do this for military guys. Pure Heat. 4.5 stars. Book 1 in Bushman's new fireworks series earns a top pick slot for one reason. It's incredibly good. Bushman's adept use of source material will blow the reader's minds and leave them awestruck that have a wonderful love story that can be so seamlessly woven in among technical details. At the core of Pure Heat is a tender tale of two damaged souls finding their way to each other. Former smoke jumper Steve Mercer has had his passion sidelined by a devastating injury. Carly Thomas, a forest fire specialist, knows all too well about losses. When Steve goes to work as a spotter and drone specialist, he gets to know the reserve beauty as they work together to combat wildfires by air. But what about the fire that rages between them? Ah, I just picked up one of her books the other day. Um, I think it's Hell on Wheels. I'm not sure. Where is this one? Let's see. Oh, I wasn't planning on doing it. Oh, yes, I was. No, it wasn't. Let's do it anyway. I can't find a. It's probably got a naked guy on the cover. And I don't see it. Ah, there we go. I knew I saw it. Julianne Walker, Helpful Leather. Readers who have been eager to learn more about the owner of the Black Knight's local watering hole get front row seats in Helpful Leather. Delilah is just as tough as expected, but we also get a glimpse of her tender, kind-hearted nature. As Mac, if his Texan drawl doesn't pull readers in, it's irresistible alpha ways will. Oh, my sinus drip is getting bad. Delilah Fairchild may be take no prisoners temptress when her uncle disappears and she's forced to swallow her pride and her feelings and ask for help from the one man who's immune to her charming ways, Brian Mac McMillan. Mac's FBI background may have taught him the art of dodging bullets, but the one thing it didn't train him for was a damsel in distress. Um Ugh. There we go. The guy with the clothes on. Breaking Point, McKenna. 4 stars. Military romance is somewhat unusual genre, but McKenna does it well. Operation Shadow Warriors is an ongoing experiment the U.S. military is facilitating to test the integration of trained female operatives in combat. Bay Thorne is a strong woman and has the training behind her to make a real asset, but when the Alpha Platoon discovers she's part of the unit, the Navy SEALs are less than welcoming. Her only ally is a loner who is lethal as gentle. Gabe is the only thing keeping Bay holding on when the antagonism of her team in the harsh terrain of Afghanistan proved difficult to handle. And naked guy on the cover, her perfect mate. Uh, in her perfect 4 stars. In her perfect mate, teaming up shapeshifter and military special forces operatives for assignments has been problematic for the Department of Covert Operatives. Shifters have been solely accepted by their partners, but Ivy and Langdon are evenly matched and non-judgmental, which makes the action more intriguing. Feline shifter Ivy Halliwell is waiting to meet her third partner and has no great expectations. Special Forces Captain Langdon Donovan is recalled from Afghanistan to work for a department he's never heard of and a partner with a stunning woman who can take him in hand-to-hand combat. Intrigued, he soon learns that the DCO does jobs for Homeland Security that aren't sanctioned or traced or anything. All right, let's move on to contemporary romance. We'll get a little romance going here. Uh, mm. Oh, where's my thing? Do I have any? Yeah. Excuse me a minute. Nope, nope. Hold on a second. Okay, confession here. Every time I see this title and saw this book, you will have to go on YouTube. Bill Withers. Withers. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. I swear to God, every time I see this title, I'm thinking of that song and I can hear it in my head. Kate Angel. 4.5 stars. Angel's fun-filled cast of characters has old rivalries, intense history, love lost and found, family ties, diverse past, and two unlikely couples to root for. Jill Mack grew up with a house full of siblings, a single mother who worked more than she was home, and a estranged father, so she's aware of hard times feel like. Aiden, close-knit and well-off family, founded the seaside village, and with Jillian found herself for a new business venture. They first meet when Jillian impersonates a psychic and gives Aiden a bogus reading to save him from his cheating girlfriend. Their paths cross at unexpected time. Aiden seems to be everything she's ever dreamed of, but her pride and independence make her think twice. Will they get romance? We'll have to see. And I know my mother was a single parent raising 2 kids all by herself. The woman worked 20 hours a day. And then she died. Uh, I didn't. This one didn't come through either. So, and I don't see a picture for it either. And I know I looked for it. And there should be. But there isn't. So we'll just. I must have forgot. But We'll just do it without a picture. Susan Mallory, When We Met. The ability to 4.5 stars. The ability to combine tender emotions, poignancy, and humor, then spice it up with a sexy sizzle are the hallmarks of Mallory's books. Widower Angel Whitaker interest is piqued by the arrival of public relations expert Tari Crawford in Fool's Gall. Taryn and her ex-football player partner have moved their company to town and are interested in working with Angel on advertising campaigns for their bodyguard school. After losing his wife and son years ago, Angel is beginning to re-enter society. He's talked into being the leader of a troop of acorns, only to discover they're 7-year-old girls. Oh, good God. Um, Half Moon Harbor. Again, the blue one. 4.5 stars. Kaufman continues the Bachelor of Blueberry Cove series with an enchanting, witty dialogue, wonderful Maine scenery, and a hero with swoon-worthy Irish brogue. Grace Maddox has just purchased a boathouse that belonged to Brody Mohan, except he has no idea it was being sold. Brody knows it's not Grace's fault that his family legacy is being threatened. That doesn't has that doesn't mean he has to accept the idea for future plans for Harbor. Grace is determined not to let Brody use his Irish charm to distract her from her path. But can she resist him? We'll see what happens there. Um, Best medicine. Tracy Brogan. Maybe this will be one of our beat books. Let's see. Stars, a delightful romance with an older woman and younger man. The difficulty the heroine has accepting both his hero and intention that the fact that marriage can be happily committed make for an entertaining tale. Plastic surgeon Evelyn Rhodes doesn't want to fuss about her 35th birthday, but she gets one anyway, from the community of her closest residents. Her friends and neighbors have also arranged to give it a blind date. Until she meets injured Tyler Connolly. Not only is Tyler her patient, but he's 8 years younger than she is. See what happens there. Um, Searching for Perfect. Searching for Perfect. Jennifer Probst. Four stars. A delightful romance with an older woman and younger man. That I just read that. Wrong thing. Wrong thing. Jennifer Probst, 4 stars. Reader will be enthralled by this character-driven romance. The second entry in the Searching for series revisits the Connections matchmaking agency where the attractive, confident Kennedy hides insecurities. Connections matchmaking agency is putting Verily New York on the map. The agency's social director Kennedy Ash creates perfect dates for her clients. No one, never want to refuse a challenge. There's something about client Nate that sparks her interest. Maybe for herself? See what happens there. It happened one wedding. Julie James. This one. It happened one wedding. 4 stars. Modern storytelling, witty dialogue, and the sizzling chemistry between Vaughn and Sydney shine in this story. When charming FBI agent Vaughn Roberts approaches investment banker Sidney Sinclair in a coffee shop, Sidney is turned off from the start and shoots him down. Still reeling from a botched engagement to a commitment-phobic fiancé, Sidney wants nothing to do with the likes of Vaughn. A surprise Vaughn has never been rejected, so now he's more determined than ever. Okay. All right, on to paranormal. Did we get them all? I think so. He's over here. Come on down here then. And Venus Showalter, Burning Dawn, naked guy on the cover. I didn't even look. I'll have to look and see if I own this. I can't see it in here. It would be back there on the floor. These go in alphabetical order, you know. So S and W are on the floor. Um Showalter's Hot and Troubled Angels are back with a book focusing on one tormented Thane. Thane's impulse guilt about the cruel torture of his brother Angels haunts him, as does his recent sexual slavery. Building a romance for a hero with this many issues is not easy. Excuse me. You want to see a hero with issues? Sharon. I give you Sharon. And Styx. And all the Dark Hunters. We will do that series at one point if I can handle it emotionally. The heroes, every single guy has got issues. And Acheron and Styx are right up there. Um Following her family's murder and her own kidnapping, half human, half phoenix Ellen Vale is just trying to survive captivity at the hands of phoenix warriors trapped in an enchantment run by Princess Kendra. When Kendra poisons one of the sent ones and makes him a sex slave, Ellen sees her chance at freedom. If Ellen can get the antidote to Thane, she can request he take her with him when he escapes. Thane agrees, thinking Ellen is feeling human, and takes her into his cloud-based club to work. Although revenge on the Phoenixes is foremost in Thane's mind, he also finds himself drawn to feisty Ellen. And once bitten, twice burned. Cynthia Eden, naked guy on the cover. In the second book in her Phoenix Fire trilogy, Eden delves in the premise of a woman who's beginning to discover vital things about her identity. Vampire Ryden Duncan is being held against his will in a testing facility by the evil Dr. Wyatt, who was trying to build the perfect soldier using the abilities of supernatural beings like him. Plotting his escape, Ryder is surprised when the doctor throws a woman into a cell. Ah, the old get him to drink situation. Been there, done that. The Guild, Jean Johnson. I used to have her books. There's a couple of series in there. She did. Not all patron deities are worthy of worship, as the Mage of Meccan can attest. For centuries, mages have hidden their powers to avoid them being siphoned by their god. The well-crafted carriers and guardian of destiny universe find themselves at the mercy of the greater forces and move like chess pieces. Evil mage Torin Shelvan escaped justice once, but is currently being held by priests of Mecca who want to sacrifice him to their hungry god. As fate would have it, the god Mecca vanishes, leaving the priests with a new dilemma. They need a new patron deity, and Torin offers himself as a powerful summer demon. Rexel has hidden her powers and the gender from the priest as she pretends to be a dimwit. When she overhears the plot, she knows she will need help to stop them. Oh. Oh, no, 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 no. I forgot about this book. Um, Sparks. She's gotta be. She's gotta be right here. Hold on a second. Naked guy on the cover. If you haven't seen my Lindsay Sands And Carolyn Sparks' series on the vampires. Please go watch. The Argenos, the Matchmaking Marguerite. I did about 15 of those so far. We did the Roman Dragoneskis. It's the Romans vampires and the malcontents are the bad guys. Romans people drink from the bottle. They get synthesized blood. Um, Sometimes the stuff goes a little too far out there for me sometimes. You know, the fact that if they get in the hot tub long enough, they can have kids type situation. But just let it go and deal with the nanites and all that kind of stuff. Just enjoy the books. These are the Roman Dragonesky bunch. Sparks allows previous characters from the Love It Steak series to make an appearance to keep things familiar and introduce new ones to keep the story fresh. Vampire Sultan has a clue that may help him discover the truth about his father's death. He's been searching for centuries and he's not easily distracted until a warrior woman catches him spotting the strange man near her village. Neona thinks handsome Zoltan will make the perfect mate. After all, men are good for just for one thing. It's her turn to provide a daughter to her people. But it doesn't take long for her to realize there is more to the vampire than his genes. Okay. Like I said, you gotta let the kid thing go. Um, um, my Franks. Up here. Those are my Franks. Those are all my Franks. Over there. Back there. Those are all my Franks. Uh, Frank! Forged! Until now, Frank's World of the Nightwalkers has been split into two different series that contain stories about different groups of races that have no knowledge of the other set. But these walls start to crumble in the latest entertaining release. While on a walk, Katrina Haynes finds a bleeding man in the snow. Katrina manages to get the man into a house and she quickly realizes there's something different about him. It almost appears as he's momentarily turned to stone. Gargoyle Anvil is grateful and fascinated by the human woman who saved him. Forced to divulge what he is, Anvil is surprised by Katrina's acceptance. Naked guy on the cover. Will it work? You know, that's a little far-fetched even for me. Romance with a gargoyle. We'd have to see how that would go. Kristen Painter, House of the Rising Sun. Set in New Orleans, Painter's first installment in her Crescent series centers on supernatural war between otherworldly creatures. Her rich, modern storytelling lays out an intricate plot laid with plenty of action and intrigue. Desperate Harlow Goodwin reluctantly returns to New Orleans to help seek help from her estranged mother, Olivia. Augustine, a Fae, is home in New Orleans after months of being on the run because he's broke a vital rule. He is happy to be back with his adopted mother, Olivia, but that happens to be short-lived when Olivia gets attacked. Seeking revenge, August gets embroiled along with Harlow in a bigger fight than he ever expected. See what happens there. Oh, that's what I was looking for. I didn't see that one. Hold on. I did a whole video on these books a couple of months ago, so you have to go check it out. I don't know what I did with this one. I know I have it, but I can't find it. But this is what the books look like. This isn't it, but this is part of the series. I just wanted to show it. But go check out the video for all of these. It's a good story. 4.5 stars. After aliens research. Oh, look at that. So it would be the book after this. After aliens research dark tone and tragic losses, the immutable Koch returns to the blend of complex, intertwining plots, outlandish action, and interverted humor. Kitty Cat Martini is frustrated the evil mastermind is still out there, and she and her husband Jeff are no closer to figuring out the identity of the wicked Smoke. Here you go. of the wicked nemesis when a cryptic warning from Kitty adoptive uncles, a pair of international assassins, urges them to evacuate the Centurion embassy before a deadly gas attack. Kitty realizes a new plot is afoot. The reason for the renewed attacks is that Jeff, a House representative for New Mexico, has just been selected as vice president candidate. Circumstances being what they are, Jeff has little choice but to accept, which means Kitty must get in the head of the game to protect her friends and the loved ones. Are you giving me your back? Are you giving me your back? Are you giving me your back? Huh? This bed turns. It does turn. Um all right. Oh, I wanted to go back and look. Did I skip one? Um why did I All right. So why did I think Oh, it's erotic? All right, let's go. We haven't gotten there yet. Okay, both of these books. All right, let's talk here. Um Suki Stackhouse is over. And I've written to Charlene, she's on Facebook. And she's told me no, she has no plans at this time to ever see Suki Stackhouse again. Um yes, ma'am. Oh, we said kitty. We want more Suki Stackhouse. So she started this one series and it's 4 books, I think. Uh one no, 3 books. I have 3. Um so the first book, and I've did a video on it. I remember doing the video. So you'd have to go check out the video for a more detailed. But if you've done Regencies, when the couple first meet, sleepyhead over here. When the couple first meet or when they're dating in a Regency book, they go in the carriage ride and they drive through the park. And they do the meet and greets. They go a couple feet and he goes, "Oh, that's Mrs. So and so. She's got this background." And they introduce the character. And then they go so and so a few more feet and that's so and so. Or they run into a relative and they introduce her to all these people as they go through the park. They get to be seen together, that type of situation. This book, and it took me a very long time to read it. I think it took me about 6 months to a year to read it. Um, Once I got to a certain chapter, I finished the book in like an hour or less, even. But until I got to that point, I would read a chapter, put it down, read a chapter, put it down. I'm serious, it took me almost 6 months to read this. Once I got to this chapter here, then the book was, I just finished it. I could finish it one read. Up until that point, like I said, it was taking me 6 months because they were doing a meet and greet. Yeah, she introduced the character, she introduced the characters. I think she had a cat. And she was like a familiar. And then she went across the street and she met that person. And then she did the next person and she met the next person. And it just took forever. And it was irritatingly, impossibly slow. Um, so wait a second. Let me get, I just dropped it. Um, Okay. No special editing here. Ah, shouldn't have done that. Okay. Like I said, it took me a really long time to read this book. Um, we've got Manfred the Psychic, Fifi Kavanaugh, Witch and Cat, Reverend Emilio, Midnight Pond, Bobo, the Vampire Olivia Charities, Joe Strong. My notes are still in the book. But like I said, the meet and greet was just taking forever. So where was I? Megastar Harris kicks off unusual and highly entertaining new series in an atmospheric, mysterious town of Midnight, Texas. And by the way, the series lasted 2 years on NBC, so it's out there on video. One of the main characters in this dark drama is psychic and seer Manfred Bernard, first introduced in Harris's outstanding Harper Connolly series. It doesn't take long for Manfred Bernardo to realize that Midnight Texas is just his kind of town. Manfred makes a living running 3 different psychic medium websites, so neighbors don't ask a lot of questions are welcome. However, Manfred quickly realizes he is no by means the unusual residents in town. Midnight Point, the local pawn shop, is owned by Bobo, aside from the diner, which also tends to draw a lot of strangers. Before Manfred arrived, Bobo's girlfriend Audrey took off, but it now looks like Audrey is not what she seemed. Bobo's not the main. Manfred's not the main character here. It's the chick. That much I remember. Yeah, it's the chick. But this is book 1. And you've got this one and this one. So once the other two, these were faster because all the characters were introduced already. But like I said, it took me 6 months to get through them. All right. This other one, like, she's over here someplace. Over there. Like Miss Daniels. And I need to look. I need to look and see if Miss Daniels has written anything new recently, because I really like to see those books again. I need to go check those out. But these books started out really, really well. It was she could see dead people and she solved murder cases with the dead people. And I just saw a new series the other day that I should have written down when I saw it, because I really want to get back. I really want to see this series. So it may pop up on here if I figure out what it was. But I saw it the other day and I was like, dang, I really want to read that. And I don't know what happened. I don't know why I didn't pick it up. I should have. Because I was surprised to see it. And I was like, yes, I want to read this. But like I said, this series started out really, really well. And it was really, really good. The first few books, she was solving murder mysteries, speaking with the dead. Then it took a left turn. And I was like, what? After that left turn, it was just over. It was just her and Reyes, yeah. It lost it. Totally. I bought the books. I have them. Right here. I bought them all. They're all here. They're all behind this. I've got them. But, after a certain point, they were horrible. absolutely serious, because she just went off on this Reyes thing and hell thing, and it was just, she just went off on this left turn. Um, so, every time P.I. Grim Reaper Charlie Davison thinks she's getting a handle on her job or her destiny, she's quickly disabused of the notion. Now that Satan's son Reyes Farrow has asked Charlie to marry him, Charlie has decided she wants to help Reyes by tracking down more information about his birth family. Reyes is adamantly against her meddling, but when Charlie is ever when has that ever stopped Charlie? Charlie's attention is diverted when she's threatened by thugs who want to find a certain woman or someone she loves will be kidnapped. Charlie is approached by a desperate man who lost his soul in a card game, which leads her to a man called the Dealer, who is much more than he appears and also has a grudge against Reyes. Um, but like I said, the series takes a turn, and it's just, it's just. That's my. You can put this. You can fill that sentence in any which way you want. It's just. Um. All right. Let's just see what's. I actually, hand to God, seriously. I hope you're still with me after this hour and a half. I thought this would be an hour video, and it's just gone on. Actually, hand to God, I was floored. I almost said something. Well, I think I did say something, but it wasn't heard. So I'm glad nobody heard me say anything. Um, but the Harlequin, the African American, they've got Harlequin American Romance, Harlequin Blaze, Harlequin Desire. There's much more than here. There's a million more Harlequins than what's they only covered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 categories in magazines. There's more categories than this. But at this time, it was American Romance, American Harlequin Blaze, Harlequin Desire, Harlequin Intrigue, Harlequin Kiss, and um, it was Harlequin with the cowboy, and it was Harlequin with pregnant woman. Go figure on that one. Harlequin with vampires and werewolves. That was Nocturne. Harlequin Presents is your sheiks, millionaires, oil tycoons. Harlequin Romance, princes, millionaires. Harlequin Suspense, undercover, um, spy situation. Special edition. Fairy tale situations. Super romance. And then we have Kimmy, K-I-M-A-N-I, and that's African American Romance. And I actually met a kid today, and their name was Kimmy, spelled exactly that way, K-I-M-A-N-I. Hand to God, I almost fell off my chair. Um, so let's see what's in here. Sometimes they have lots of pictures for Harlequins, and sometimes they don't. Um, I didn't even see it. I just will pick the one that's a 4-star. Um, oh, here it is. Safe in my arms. Let's see. They never do the one on the big picture. I don't know why. That always um annoys the heck out of me. It's this one here. Safe in the arms. And I don't know why they don't do the big one. They put their star in the big one. It's Brenda Jackson. If you haven't seen my African American authors, we talk about her. Um did it again. I went by it again. Oh, this video is going to take 15 hours to upload. 4.5 stars. Janice Sim. Mina Gaines, a former Army pilot, is hiking in the woods when she sees a plane come down. Her instincts kick in and she runs to find any survivors. What she finds is a dead body and a DEA agent, Jake Wolf, who's undercover trying to land a big team drug dealer. Both Mina and Jake are still mourning the loss of their previous loves, but are willing to do whatever it takes to give love a second chance. Aww. All right. On to erotica real quick here. Uh, Halsey Grohl, The Professional. Um, she's the Cat and Bone series, the vampire series. This got 4.5 stars. This is a compilation of the first 3 installments of Cole's Game Maker series, a mixture of romance, humor, and BDSM against the dangerous backdrop of the Russian mafia. It becomes obvious why this was first released in parts. There's a relentless buildup of tension that leaves readers breathless. Alexei is sent to America to bring Natalie to her birth father's home in Russia. Natalie has been searching for her parents for years without realizing that the world she would fall into. Sebastian is the enforcer of her father's criminal organization, but he turns out to be so much more, namely sex on a stick. The man is reluctant to engage in a relationship, but he and Natalie are bound to be together once they are back in Russia. Okay. And that is the end of Flashback Monday for May 2014. Please tune in next week for Flashback Monday, June 2014. Thank you. Have a good one.